All right, Lil Rel, thank you for joining us.
No problemo.
I see you got the Cubs hat on.
Go Cubs, go. 108 years.
Did you believe in them?
Yes. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest. When it became 3-1, like I was trying to prepare myself to be hurt. So when it became 3-2, I was still like, okay. And then when it was 3-3, I was very confident that they was gonna win the game.
So, did you make any bets?
No, I don't gamble like that. I'm not a gambling dude. Like if I'm gonna bet something, I have to be able to like physically do it. So like, we play one-on-one in basketball. I put money up for that because I can. But anything I got a chance on somebody else, I'm not betting on that.
Right. I mean, like even little petty bets. You make somebody wear, I don't know, like some sort of costume or whatever.
I take it too serious to bet too. Like what Dwayne Wade and LeBron did. That's a fun bet, right?
Right.
But for the most part, I'm too into like, especially sports, my sports teams. It's too intense for me. That'll be extra stress. Because people already think I bet. What, you got money on the game? Why you crying? Like, because I'm a fan.
Right. Oh, so you cried when they won?
I mean, first of all, a lot of grown, I was at a club when I saw it, and it's like, these are like street dudes in Chicago. I'm not making this up. I've never hugged so many thugs in my life. Like everybody was like literally like crying. Like it was uncomfortable and dope at the same time. Everybody was like, yeah, my grandfather. Everybody talking about their Chicago, I've never seen so happy before, to be quite honest.
Really?
Never seen it that happy.
I mean, how long were the hugs though? If they weren't uncomfortable,
well,
isn't there like code?
I'm glad you said it. I'm used to when I don't hug a man unless it's my dad. So I do the one arm, boom. We was all like full body hugs. So I'm like, these are strangers too.
Sobbing, right?
Sobbing. Like little tears on my shoulder from grown man tears on my shoulder.
So tell me a bit about your upbringing in Chicago.
From the west side of Chicago. Grew up with both my parents, which, as a black man, that's kind of rare. Oh, it is rare. I could be honest, like in my neighborhood, like we was the only family. It was like maybe one of the family with a dad. So, and my father was everybody's dad. So he fixed everybody's bikes in the summertime. He coached our baseball team and stuff. So it wasn't a suburban neighborhood, but my father just was a real community guy, him and my mom. So I grew up with that upbringing, man. I had two dope parents that made me feel like I could do whatever I want.
Right. And then did they know that you were a funny kid growing up? Were you always like a class clown?
Your parents don't think you your parents don't know who your personality is until y'all real grown and y'all maybe become cool. That don't happen all the time. Some people still not cool with their parents even though they grown. But I think they don't really know your personality for real until you get older. I think. Because like with my kids now, I see they're funny to me now. So, but I know my parents would think I was funny. I don't even think I would try to be funny around there. I just try to look like I ain't do anything. I wanted to be a good kid. That was it. But funny, my little brother Matt was the one who knew I was funny the whole time. So, cause that's who I used to just bounce up. To this day, that's who I still call and tell stories to and all types of stuff.
Right. I mean, what about in school? Were you like in trouble for making fun of your teachers or classmates?
No, what's funny? One of my good friends, he was the class clown. Like but he was ignorant though. You know what I'm saying? Like I was funny. Like he was just doing like, throw a book out the window. Like wait a minute, that's crazy. But with me, I would actually be in class like doing characters and stuff. So the stuff I did was like, it felt like, I remember somebody from high school telling me that like we knew you might have ended up on TV because you wasn't just being funny. Like I used to do Robert Parrish, which is so random. He had played for the old championship Bulls team, the last one. And I used to do Robert Parrish in the classroom, and people would be, because I say he sounded like a slave. So I used to do Robert Parrish telling all these stories about playing for the Celtics and how he didn't have shoes. It was stupid. So I used to do like Dennis Rodman, I used to do Michael Jordan. So I did it, and then I did teachers too. So it was more like strategic impersonations. I wasn't like just the roaster. Like my friends was the class clowns.
Did you do any talent shows growing up?
Definitely. I did a bunch of talent shows. I did a bunch of church plays. I was like in every church play you could think of, like, Mama, please help me before Jesus come home. Those plays. And I did a lot of those plays. And then I did plays in high school, you know what I mean? Which is really why I got the bug to know that I really wanted to do this.
Right, right. Now, how'd you get your name, Lil Rel?
Lil Rel was my hooping name in high school. Like I got like a Steve Urkel kind of story. Like you remember Urkel? They found out Urkel could play basketball. That's my story, kind of like that. Except, so what happened was I went to a school called Providence St. Mel, which was a private, all-black school, amazing. And my parents couldn't afford to keep me, in the school because they wanted to put my brother into a private school. So they're like, well, you go to public school. You had your turn. So I went to Crane, and it was like I didn't even know I was a nerd until I went to the hood school. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I was cool. And then like when I remember orientation, they was roasting me, and I didn't even know they was talking to me. I was just sitting there. They're like, look at that nerd right there. And I'm tapping somebody. It's a nerd in here. They're like, no, they talking to you. I'm like, damn. So I didn't know I was a nerd. So I was a nerd for the first like quarter of high school, and then basketball tryouts came. And I took those glasses off, and I balled them dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I was killing everybody at tryouts. And my cousin's name is Darrell. He played varsity. So all the seniors saw me trying out and killing everybody. They like, yo, that's Darrell cousin. What up, Lil Rel? And I used to be like, my name Milton. Like, what up, Lil Rel? Like, so when it's like seniors give you a name, that's just what it is. So some people didn't know my real name until graduation. They didn't know who was coming up to the podium.
And that's just been attached to you since what, freshman year?
Been freshman year, Lil Rel, yep.
Wow. And what do your parents call you?
Everybody calls me Rel now, which is very interesting. Because it became such a catchy, and also too in my family, my father's name is Milton and my grandfather's name was Milton. So they already gave me another name anyway. They'll call me Terry or Rel, just because they needed to differentiate me from everybody else.
Right. That's so funny. So, I mean, nicknames are like the best thing ever, and it goes to like your brand as well. So
it's crazy. I mean, it's people telling me that I need to drop the love.
Why?
I don't know. I know I'm a grown man. I get it. I kids. Like I got a great beard. But Lil Rel just catchy. It just you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I made my son's middle name is Lil Rel. I made it a real name. Instead of Lilrel, it's L small a capital REL. Lil Rel.
So what? I mean, if you were gonna change it, what were you gonna change it to? Just Rel?
I think it'd just be Rel. It would. I thought about it. I don't know.
Really?
We'll see. That might still happen actually.
I mean, how'd you get into as far as save your name based off of like just your branding, because
Right.
if you Google yourself, you can find yourself faster than you mess up all your SEO searches.
Well, look, it's a rapper named Lil Rel, and when I first started, he had all the Google stuff.
Oh.
Like I done top Lil Rel though. I'm more popular than the rapper Lil Rel.
Was that your goal?
It was for a while. Like I wanted to outdo it. Like I'm scared to meet him because he went to jail. It's like he's been through a lot. But it's like I don't want to like, hey man, that's, I feel like I think we'll be cool, but I don't.
Where is he from?
He was a
Do you know?
trap dude. He's from the South. He had a hit song called Wild Out that was only popular where he was from. I'm not making this up. I had to research this dude and go into his life. Like, I'm gonna be popular in Lil Rel, Wild Out one day.
But I mean, you're from Chicago, so like it's like two different extremes. You might be a little crazy.
I'm gonna say this. It is the honest to God truth. So I can't even front and act like, yeah, I am from the West Side of Chicago.
Oh, what's the difference between the South Side and West Side?
Big difference.
All right.
I feel like the South. First of all, anybody from the South Side of Chicago always think they better than everybody. We used to call it the bougie side of everything before they caught up with the killings. But the South Side is, I don't know. I just think the West. It's hard. It's tough to ask me that because I'm gonna be very biased. I think the West Side got the coolest dudes, which is why we always end up with South Side women. You know what I'm saying? Because we're more smoother. We got like that. I don't want to say pimp talk, but like we just smoother talkers.
Charmers.
Yeah, we're charmers, but we're not like pretty boy charmers. It's a big difference.
Uh-huh.
It's man charm.
I don't know, cause I'm like we've interviewed a bunch of Chicago rappers in the past,
Right.
And There are like they haven't specified exactly where they're from, but yeah, I could see how they could be smooth and very friendly, or they could be just quiet to themselves. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know nothing about Chicago, but I'm just going to stand right here, do my job.
Ain't that interesting though? A lot of the rappers be like now the rappers now are so quiet and weird. Like they
Why
don't
is
say
that?
a lot. You ask them a question like, "Yeah, that's cool, fam." You're like, "What are you talking about, bro?"
Do you have any? Do you have any favorite Chicago rappers?
Oh, definitely. Kanye,
Like,
Common, Lupe, Crucial Conflict, Do or Die, Twista.
I mean, any newer?
Any newer
acts?
people? I mean, if I had to pick somebody, I mean, you know what's funny? I like Chief Keef, but what's funny? I was my boy was FaceTiming Chief Keef like a week ago, randomly. After we did a couple of shows, we went to after party, so I had to I had a little bit to drink, and I didn't know he was FaceTiming him, so me and Chief Keef not arguing, but I was just like, hey man, you know who I am? like I ain't never met you before, fam. But you have. You know me, Chief Keef. Like my boy the next morning was telling me like, yo, I thought it was a dream. He's like, yo, you don't remember talking to Chief Keef on FaceTime last night? I was like, that really happened?
Now you're gonna have to see him.
I mean, it is what it is. I love Chief. No, honestly, I love Mike. I'm friends with his manager, man. And he a good dude. He out here in L.A. He ain't trying to go back to Chicago.
No, I don't think anyone should go back.
Don't say it like that.
To be real.
Chicago's a beautiful city. Most of the stuff that's happening in Chicago is not happening all over. It's happening in the same areas.
Yeah.
So it ain't like it's in downtown Chicago they shooting it up. No,
I mean, how do you feel after being so successful, like going back home?
First of all, I love the love I get from the crib when I go back. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I like when you know how people are and what they'll do. Sometimes you are a little nervous. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you don't want everybody to start thinking you're getting all this bread, and then you get set up. I mean, and it happens. I mean, as much as everybody act like it doesn't happen, it's happened before to people I know. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right.
You kind of become real cautious about everything, and you try to make sure you don't throw nothing in nobody's face, which that's what people mess up at. Like once they start getting it, well, athletes probably do it more than anybody, where they tend to when they get it, they become thugs, which is weird to me. So you start making millions, now you want to act like you're from the streets. After you've been quiet and went to school and class to get to this point, now you're a thug, because you're buying your friends now.
Right.
You can't buy that, man. Them dudes will set you up in a heartbeat, man.